Hello everyone. My name is Dr.E.Purushotham, Professor of Physics, Department of Basic Sciences, School of Sciences and Humanities. Today, I am going to discuss about nanomaterials, a historical development. So a warm welcome to today's video lecture. We will explore an exciting and rapidly evolving field of science called nanomaterials. This lecture will take you from the historical roots of nanomaterials to their modern technological importance. Though nanomaterials and nanotechnology seems modern, you will be surprised to learn that humans unknown unknowingly used nanomaterials thousands of years ago. So, welcome to see why we need to study the nanomaterials. You can see here clearly, try to understand. So, atoms. The atom's particle size nearly 10 to the power minus 10 meters. Molecules 1 nanometer, that is 10 to the power minus 9 meters. It represents the fundamental building blocks of matter. So you can see here DNA. It is 2 to 3 nanometers width, lies within the nanoscale. So demonstrating that life itself is built at the nanoscale. So virus, try to understand here simply 20 to 300 nanometers fall directly inside the nanometer range, showing how nanotechnology is important for medicine and drug delivery. So bacteria, you can see here bacteria 1 to 10 micrometer. Micro means 10 to the power minus 6 meters. 1 micro 10 to the power minus 6. So the bacteria are much larger but still influenced by nanoscale interactions. So human hair, you try to understand here nearly 100 micrometer. It is known to provide a familiar size reference about 1,000 times thicker than a nanoparticle. So objects like an ant or a tennis ball demonstrate the scale transition from microscopic to macroscopic. In the yellow highlighted region, here you see here, this is the yellow highlighted region. Nanoparticles are shown 10 to the power minus 8 to 10 to the power minus 6. That is, you can observe clearly here. The nanoparticles are shown indicating the targeted domain of nanoscience and nanotechnology at this scale material exhibit. So you can see already we discussed atom. Atom related, you see here clearly 10 to the power minus 10 meters. So again molecules, the second one, you see here molecules 1 nanometer. So this is 1 angstrom. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meters. So this is 1 nanometer. 1 nanometer is 10 to the power minus 9 meters. Coming to DNA, this is DNA related. So DNA, this is 10 nanometers, that is 10 to the power minus 8 meters. So another one is virus, that is 100 nanometers or 10 to the power minus 7 related. And 1 micrometer, you can see here bacteria range. And also human hair, we discussed here nearly 100 micrometer. 100 micrometer. So you can see here, this is the ant or tennis ball. You can see here, and tennis ball related 10 to the 4 minus 2 meters. So in this slide, what we are discussing, what we need to study nanomaterials. That is very important, the size comparison. So to understand nanomaterials, we must first understand the scale. Atoms and molecules exist at the nanometer level. DNA, virus, and proteins all lie in the nanoscale range. Even life itself is built at the nanoscale. When materials shrink to this size, they behave very differently compared to bulk materials. Compared to bulk materials. So you can see here, so very early use of nanomaterials. So early nanomaterials, this is historical development. Humans used nanomaterials long before they knew nano existed. They controlled color and properties using the nanomaterials in their materials, but not at the atomic scale. So you see this cup. What is this cup? You can observe here Roman Lycurgus cup. It was the 4th century related AD 1. What is this object? You try to see here this object of this cup, a Roman glass case cup. This is it is available in British Museum. What nanomaterials are used in this cup? So the gold nanoparticles and silver nanoparticles are used in this cup. So it embedded in glass. What are the specific effects here? You see here, the cup looks green in reflected light and red when light shines through it. So, classic plasmonic behavior of metal, this is the nanoparticles. So, at that time, 4th century, they also used nanomaterials. These are the early nanomaterials. So, who was used it? Unknown Roman master glass artisans, they did not know nanoparticles, but they produced particles tens of nanometers in size. So today, this cup is often called one of the oldest synthetic nanocomposite. Thus, this cup is oldest synthetic nanocomposites. Nanocomposites. So what I am saying, at the nanoscale material exhibit unique optical, electrical, magnetic, and chemical properties. These unusual properties are the foundation of nanoscience. That is why nanomaterials are so important in electronics, medicine, energy, and computing. So coming to next one. You can see clearly here, very, very important here. So you can see here Europe from nearly 500 to 15,000 AD onwards. So nanomaterials are not entirely new. Humans used them long before the term nano existed. So ancient civilization achieved remarkable results by trial and experience. So even without scientific knowledge of atoms or nanoparticles. So try to see here in this ancient stained glass windows. These are the glass windows. You try to understand very beautiful colors you can observe here. So what is the object? So colored glass windows made in medieval Europe using molten glass infused with metal salts. So this property, we try to understand specific effect and property. You can see. So it gives the beautiful and richest colors, especially deep red. You try to understand here. So it gives the yellow color, purple color due to metal nanoparticles. So they used some gold nanoparticles or silver nanoparticles. Sometimes they used copper or other metals also they used. So these are the gold, silver, and copper and other materials dispersed in the glass. The nanoparticle size and composition influence how light is absorbed or scattered or giving vivid different colors. So you can see here who made it or who used it. You try to understand. So you see here, this is the stained glass related glass makers. You try to see here clearly, that is church craftsmen. They were not aware of nanoparticles, but they used. But empirically discovered that adding metal salts plus particular firing produced colored glasses. What is the important of this related nanoparticles mixed with the glass? This shows that humans have been exploring and exploiting nanoscale phenomena. So, due to this, adding nanoparticles, we get color, light effect for many centuries, long before the science of nanotechnology existed. So, coming to next one. So, this is ancient historical metals and ceramics. Example: early colored glass and glasses, possibly early nanocrystals. So you try to see here what is that object. So colored glass pieces from ancient Bronze Age civilization, example in Italy, and later ceramics with glazed finishes they used in Europe and Middle East, so on. What are the properties or what is the specific effect you see? So you see here metallic iridescent related due to the nanocrystals of metals, example copper, silver, other metals, forming inside glass or glaze. For instance, red glass from branch. So it was Italy had copper nanocrystals they used. Later, luster pottery used silver or copper nanoparticles. That particle size is 5 nanometers to 100 nanometers. It is between the nanoscale to produce metallic luster. So it is very important. So who used this one? Ancient glass makers from Bronze Age civilizations and later ceramic artisans. So they used empirical methods, that is metal salts added with specialization, fringe, glazing, without knowing nanoscale science knowledge. So, what is the importance? Demonstrates that nanoparticles, in the sense of nanocrystals, were used for functional and decorative materials, glass, glaze, ceramics. Thousands of years ago, this forms a continuous prehistory of modern nano materials and nanoscience. Nanoscience. So one of the earliest example is the Roman lacquer cup. and stainless glass windows also. So it is a very, very important present related for nanotechnology. Nanotech. Coming to historical strong metals, you can see here. So you see here, the objects are steel blades, swords made from Damascus or wood. Steel historically famous for strength, resilience, sharpness. So what is the property? Modern analysis shows these steels contain nanoscale structures. So cementite nanowires and carbon nanotubes embedded in the steel matrix. These contribute to high mechanical strength, toughness, and excellent edge retention. Who used, who made it? You try to understand here. Medieval swordsmiths in the Middle East and steel ingots imported from South Asia, southern India or Sri Lanka. They used specialized forging techniques, wood process, but did not know about nanoscale, the nanostructures formed accidentally via their empirical methods they prepared and they used. What is the importance? Try to see here. This is often cited as an early example of material whose exceptional microscopic mechanical properties are linked to nanoscale structure. A precursor they prepared accidentally to modern nanomaterials with tailored mechanical behavior. So Maya blue, you can see around 800 AD, Mesoamerica, Mesoamerica. So what is the object? Maya blue, you can see here, Maya blue. Pottery, murals, and painted ceramics, especially from ancient Mesoamerica, that is Mayan context. This is the object name. So, what is the special effect or property? The pigment consists of dye molecules, that is, example, indigo, fixed inside clay nanopores. A nanoscale host guest composite they absorb. This embedding gives the pigment exemptional chemical and light stability. The blue you can observe in the figure, the blue color remains intact over centuries despite exposure to weather, humidity, example. So who used this one? Maya blue. So ancient Mayan and other pre-Columbian cultures in Mesoamerica around 800 AD. So, what is the importance? Try to understand here. It shows that even organic in clay nanocomposites, not just metals in glass or ceramics, are known and exploited with durability and stability as desirable properties. This predates modern nanotechnology by many centuries. So you can understand here Maya blue is a highly stable pigment made from organic dye and clay nanoparticles. It resisted weathering for centuries, providing that nanocomposites were used even in ancient art. So coming to next one, that is you can observe here luster were ceramics and pottery related one. So lusterware pottery from Islamic and European cultures used metallic nanoparticles to create shiny, colorful surfaces. This reflects early understanding of nanoscale light matter interactions. So try to understand here what is the object. You see here glazed ceramics and pottery, especially decorative pottery, dishes, tiles produced in Islamic world starting 8th to 9th century and Latin Europe related one. What are the properties? You see here the metallic or lustrous sheen, shimmering. So this related metallic look surface arises from metal, silver or copper nanoparticles embedded in the glaze matrix. These particles are typically in the nanometer range, some said between 5 nanometers to 100 nanometer, and cause their special optical effects, that is light scattering effect and reflection effect, giving a metallic luster. Who made it? Who used it? So artisans of the Islamic world, that is from around 8th to 9th century onward, and later European ceramics during the 15th to 16th centuries, they prepared. So what is the important you see is demonstrates early uses of metallic nanoparticle based glazes. These glazes combine with the materials, knowledge giving shine, durability, color effects long before nanoscience was formalized. Coming to this one, try to understand Chinese related from the Tang and Song dynasties achieved exceptional strength and nanostructured materials. These properties were influenced by nanoscale grain structures formed during high temperature processing. So this is the Celadon other glazed pottery. So nanomaterials, iron oxide nanoparticles in glaze they used. So that is the jade-like smooth shine, crackle pattern, special effect. So Chinese ceramic artists was used this one. The time is 600 to 1200 AD. AD. Coming to this few developments, try to understand. So you can see here, number one, this is 1800 to 57. 1800 to 57. So Michael Faraday published a paper explaining how metal particles affect the color of church glass windows. That is Michael Faraday published a paper in 1857. And next, 1908, 1908. Gustav Mick published another paper explaining the dependence of the color of the glass on the size and kind of the metal particles. Metal particles. In 1957, so Rolf Landrell from IBM proposed nanoscale electronics in 1957. So coming to 1960s, metallic fluids called ferrofluids consisting of nano-sized magnetic particles were developed in 1960s. 1960s. Coming to 1970s. In the early 1970s, Bell Laboratories and IBM fabricated the first two dimensional quantum wells. First two-dimensional quantum wells. Coming to 1981. In 1981, laser vapor deposition method resulted in the development of metal nano clusters. So coming to 1985, the discovery and synthesis of fullerene C60 took place in 1985. Before that, 1982 also, we can observe here, in 1982, the concept of quantum confinement was discovered by Russian scientists. So in 1982. So coming to in 1981 also, scanning tunneling microscope STM, and in 1986 atomic force microscope were invented. These tools are helpful in characterizing the nanomaterials. Nanomaterials. In 1991, S. Izuma, S. Izima made carbon nanotubes. In 1994, stable gold nanoparticles were solution. Made in solution. So in 1996, scientists at IBM succeeded in moving and precisely positioning individual molecules at room temperature in 1999. Molecular logic gates were created. So from 2000, quite a lot of research and development activities are in progress. The field of nanotechnology is simply so vast to interdisciplinary and too rapidly changing to cover the nanoscience and nanotechnology. These are the few developments from 1857 to present. So you try to understand here the early nanomaterials and historical development. Yes, you try to see here. This is already we discussed this Roman glass related Lycurgus cup. So simply nanostructure or nanomaterials. The gold and silver nanomaterials are used in this glass. Nanoparticles are used in this glass. So special effect also we studied our property. Dichroic color, green in reflection, red in transmission. Approximate date, that is 4th century AD Roman Empire. So this is, you can see, medieval related stained glass window. Here, gold, silver nanoparticles are used in this glass. The color is special effect is deep red, yellow, or purple or glass color. So the time is 10th to 16th century Europe. You see, this is glazed pottery ceramics, lusterware. Here also, they used the silver and copper nanoparticles in glaze. So metallic related lusters, surfaces, finish. We try to understand the time is 8th to 9th century or 15th to 16th Europe related one. Maya blue also we discussed. So dye in clay nanoparticles or nanocomposites, that is the nanomaterials they used. Durable, weather resistant blue pigment. So the time is 800 AD related one. This is another gold ruby glass. You see, gold nanoparticles are used here. This is rich red glass color, late Roman period or early modern Europe. They used that one. So why we need to study nanomaterials? You try to understand here, develop next generation technology in electronics, sensor, photonics, and quantum devices. So the nanoparticles are also improved on healthcare and medicine, including targeted drug delivery, rapid diagnosis, and advanced imaging. So enhance energy storage and conversion, such as high performance batteries, supercapacitors, fuel cells, and solar cells. They developed the after 2000 related. So create stronger, lighter, and smarter materials for aerospace, automotive, civil, and defense applications. You see here advanced environmental sustainability through water purification, pollution control, carbon dioxide capture, and clean energy solution. So revolutionize computing, including high-speed processors, memory devices, and in everywhere the nanomaterials are used. Support industrial innovations, enabling cost-effective and efficient processes in manufacturing and materials engineering. The nanoparticles are using in a rapidly evolving global research and industrial environment. Knowledge of nanoparticles and nanomaterials is crucial for scientific progress, technological leadership, and societal impact. The recent researchers and engineers equipped with nanoscience expertise are positioned to shape the future of science and technology. So you can see here nanomaterials exhibit unique physical, electrical, and optical properties not found in bulk materials, enabling revolutionary technologies. You can see all we can see environmental science, energy, electronics, physical properties, electrical properties, optical properties. We can observe so many. Here also, nanoscience is developed and it is moving to another ways. They are the building blocks of future devices, including quantum processors, sensors, biomedical devices, artificial intelligence hardware, IoT, and energy efficient hardwares. Exposure to nanomaterials sharpen interdisciplinary thinking, blending physics, chemistry, biology, and engineering with computational applications. So, learning nanomaterials empowers students to contribute to cutting edge research and high growth technology and industry globally. So, how it is relevant to the CSE students or other engineering students? Nanomaterials are central to next generation semiconductors. You can see here everything. So, semiconductors impacting processor speed, energy efficiency, and memory density. So, technologies such as spintronics, quantum computing, neuromorphic chips, and all harness nano structured for breakthrough performance. So technologies like graphene, transistors, quantum dots, spintronic, and neuromorphic chips rely on nanomaterials. These innovations aim to mimic the human brain and revolutionize data processing. Carbon based materials like graphene and carbon nanotubes are already being tested in transistors and sensors. So nanotechnology, you see here, nanotechnology enables wearable electronics, biomedical data, and smart fabrics also in health tech and embedded systems. So nanomaterials are very important in our present life. You can observe here. So we try to understand. After learning this related one, the students' learning outcome you can see here. Understanding the surface area to volume ratio. The the bulk material is divided into small pieces. Then the small piece radius decreases. Then surface area to volume ratio increases. This increasing surface area to volume ratio gives the different properties to nanomaterials. So, due to the understanding of surface area to volume ratio and quantum confinement effects and their impact on material behavior, we can understand easy the behavior and properties of nanomaterials. After that, we can classify, identify, and classify the nanomaterials based on their dimensional. We can divide it into four: zero dimensional, one dimensional, and three dimensional. Differentiate between top down and bottom up synthesis techniques with real world examples also. Explore various carbon based nanomaterials, graphene, fluorine, and understand their structural and functional rules. Apply this knowledge to discuss technological applications of nanomaterials, especially in computing, electronics, data storage, in everywhere the student can apply. By the end of this video, you will understand surface area to volume ratio, quantum confinement, types of nanomaterials, synthesis techniques, and their applications in computing and electronics. So, what is nanomaterials? So, introduction to nanomaterials. Nanomaterials are materials with a least one dimensional below 100 nanometer. At this scale, classical physics fails and quantum effect domain material behaves. So, coming to this one, what is nanomaterial? What is nano? So, 1 nanometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meters. So 1 nanometer is equal to 1 meter by 10 to the power 9. So 10 to the power 9 means 1 billion. 1 billion. So nanometer, we can give the definition 1 billionth of meter. So this is 1 billionth of meter is called nanometer. Nanometer. So another one also we can give 1 meter by 10 to the power 9. I am giving this is 10 to the power 9, 1000 into 10 to the power 6. So this is 1 meter by 1000 into 10 to the power 6 is the million. 1 millionth. You see here, this is 1000 millionth of meter is called nanometer. Two definitions. 1 billionth of meter is called nanometer or 1000 millionth of meter is called nanometer. A nanometer is 1000 millionth of a meter. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 to the 4 minus 9 meters or 10 to the 4 minus 3 micrometer or 10 angstroms. 10 angstroms. So size of the atoms can vary from zero point 0.1 nanometer to zero point 0.5 nanometer depending on the types of the elements involved in the material. A water molecule H2O 0.3 nanometers across. The size of the virus nearly 100 nanometer. when the material size of an object is reduced to nanoscale, then it exhibits different properties than the same material in bulk. So the nanoscale is 1 meter to 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Scale is known as nanoscale. What is nanomaterial? A material particle size which is less than 100 nanometers, that is called nanomaterial. Nanomaterial. So, nanomaterial related, you can observe here atom particle size zero point 0.1 nanometer, C60 fullerene molecule 1 nanometer. Try to understand protein related and virus 10 nanometers. Try to understand up to here frog egg 1 millimeter. So this is the nanometer related. So the size of the coronavirus COVID-19, that is can vary from 180 nanometers to 160 nanometers. 160 nanometers. A nanometer is 1000 millionth of a meter, already we discussed. The diameter of a single atom can vary from zero point 0.1 nanometer to zero point 0.5 nanometer on the type of the element. One carbon atom 0.15 nanometers in diameter. A red blood cell 7000 nanometers wide. A water molecule is almost zero point 0.3 nanometers. A human hair is about 60,000 to 80,000 nanometers, that is 60 to 80 micrometers. You can observe here, this is football, 1 meter diameter. So tennis ball, you can see 10 to the power minus 2 and 10 to the power minus 3. So like this, you can observe all these things. So 1 nanometer would approximately be equal to the length of 10 hydrogen atoms in a line. A material is called a nanomaterial if the size of the material is below 100 nanometers. A material particle size which is less than 100 nanometers, that is called nanomaterial. Or a particle size is in between 1 to 100 nanometers, that material is known as nanomaterial. This is because many physical and chemical properties of a material start changing significantly when the size of the grain is below 100 nanometers. 100 nanometers. So you see here bulk related this shape and this shape. Try to understand. So this optical properties, it is only one color, gold related or silver related. So it is giving different colors. The particle size decreases, the optical properties also changes. The shape is also changes. The electronic properties, magnetic properties, and mechanical properties also changing. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Thank you so much.